It is a hot and sticky day in Boulder, Colorado. It is 102 degrees. I am packing for my 1,400-mile road trip from Boulder to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to spend time with my family before my sister's wedding. As I'm packing, I have sweat in my ears. It is so hot. I grab my flip-flops, some tank tops, some shorts and a bathing suit, throw it in a bag, and happily throw on my most prized possession and sentimental piece of clothing that was picked out by my 6-year-old niece, Ava. It is a yellow and white striped tank top, and she picked it out because she loved the detail on the back. Along the spine of the tank top in the back, the clothing is held together by a series of white, sparkly bows. Leaving small little holes along the skin for breathability, it is perfect for the hot summer day that we are in. For those of you who have been blessed enough to drive through Middle America in the middle of summer, you will know that it's hot enough to make your eyeballs sweat. And I am lucky enough to have a car that has no air conditioning. It's my goal to get through the state of Kansas, the hottest part, by the end of the night. I grab some pretzels, I grab a bottle of water, I grab some dog treats, and my best friend, Jake, a four-legged furry companion who I rescued from the Boulder Humane Society. We jump into the car and Jake quickly circles and finds his way to a sleepy position in the back seat. I pop in my favorite Janet Jackson CD and I am cruising on I-70. I am singing along to my favorite song, Escapade, before I realize that my gas tank has gone to empty. It's been several hours, and at this point, I'm about 5 miles from Topeka, Kansas. I look to the side of the road, and there's a neon sign that reads 95 degrees. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, by the way. 95 degrees at 1 o'clock in the morning. The following sign reads, gas and fuel this way. I make my way towards the exit, and I develop a knot in my stomach. I must be hungry. As I continue towards the Conoco up in the distance, it's something out of a horror movie. It is completely black, aside from one dangling light that is flickering, hanging over pump number 3. Some of the windows in the convenience store appear to be cracked and maybe even broken. There are 2 pickup trucks parked off to the side. Otherwise, I see no people. As I get closer, there's a rock in my stomach that seems to be growing a little bit. I pull up to pump number 3. I pump my gas. I can smell the faint smell of cigarette smoke. I hear a voice. Hey, girlie. It's quite faint. I turn around. I don't see anybody. The pit in my stomach has now turned into a watermelon. My heart rate speeds up a little. Moments later, I'm consumed by cigarette smoke. I look around. I don't see anybody. This time the voice is a little louder. Hey, sweet girlie. I turn around again. I see nobody. By this point, I'm panicking a little. I rush to get into my car. I fumble for my keys. Jake is snoring in the back seat. And a moment later, there's a man at my window. He's wearing a blue and white Kansas City Royals baseball cap. His lips are dry and cracked. They're white on the corners. He has stubble on his cheeks that resemble that of a cactus. He is right against the glass. He raises his hand in a very obscene gesture towards his mouth. He takes his left hand and reaches for the door handle, and like an alarm has gone off, Jake flies out of the back seat like Cujo. He is snarling and barking. He bites at the glass. Our Kansas City Royals fan raises his hands in defeat. He slowly backs away. I return the favor with a gesture of my own with one of my favorite fingers and pull out of that gas station like a rocket ship. I head back onto I-70. I am full of emotions. I am relieved, I'm sad, I'm scared. Jake sticks his head between the seats and licks a few tears off my cheek. I scratch his little ears and tell him he's a good boy. By the time I make it to Pittsburgh, I have settled. I share the story with some of my friends and family, and I'm met with all too familiar questions that women get asked. Well, why were you out so late? What were you wearing? Were you wearing that tank top? Because it's kind of revealing. As if a piece of clothing magically summoned this man against his will or control to violently come to my window. I can assure you that in my 10 years of volunteering for sexual harassment victims, I have never seen a piece of clothing with such magical powers. And so I leave you with this. If you want to support women, instead of interrogating them, listen, believe them, reassure them that it's not their fault. 132 women in America were assaulted, raped, or harassed last year alone. 132 million. That's your neighbor, the woman in the grocery store, your daughter. Better yet, if you want to support women, consider this question. If you wouldn't ask a victim of a robbery what they were wearing, why would you ask a victim of assault, harassment, or rape? Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.